Hey guys, so you thought I had some exciting news last week. I'm going to top it this week. I've got something pretty cool, and the hat is a clue. Anyway, I've been thinking about it for quite a while. I've needed one. I've injured myself a little bit trying to move logs and decided I needed to do it right. So I'm going to share something with you today that I'm super excited about, and can't wait to try it out. But that's what I'm talking about. I ended up getting myself a proper tractor. I love my UTV, and I'll keep using my UTV for all kinds of things. But this bad boy is gonna be the bomb. So anyway, I won't tell you any more about that at the moment. All I'm going to tell you right now is that, well, I wanted to give you a lead-in for the actual video that's going to be playing today, but I'll come back to this, and we'll be doing some stuff with this real soon. You'll see a lot of it. So anyway, let's get started. TWC Projects, and enjoy this video. Hey guys, welcome to TWC Projects. Hey, today I'm out at Lake Anna, Tractor and Hardware, and not too far from me, right here in Central Virginia. Easy to get to from Northern Virginia or Richmond or anywhere. It's luckily about 35 minutes from me, so that makes it great. And they happen to be like one of the biggest Branson guys around, certainly around the area, selling a ton of them because they know what they're doing and they've got good equipment. And I fell in love with this thing, so I'm out here today with David. And David's heads up the sales for these things and knows all about these. Been selling for years. Before these, he was selling a lot of other gear too, that I'm sure tractors that you're familiar with. So he's going to give me a little bit of a walk around today, which I'm really excited about because you know, I have a sense of how some of the stuff works, and I've seen some great videos out there, but firsthand it's now like real to me because I finally got one, and I'm super excited. And so David's going to walk me through how to use this thing and all the different features and why this tractor is so awesome. So welcome, David. Thank you for being on my channel and showing us the tractor and showing us around a little bit. So what do we got?
All right, so what you got to start this tractor, not a lot of safety features, just want to be in neutral. So when you turn this key on, you've got a neutral indicator, and all that is doing is reading the sensor off of the pedals, letting it know that, you know, it's in a neutral position. If you notice, if it doesn't return to neutral, it won't be on the dash. So to start the tractor, glow plugs, of course.
Right.
Cut that off so you can hear it. When you got the loader up like that, it does have a lock. You see how you push that down?
Yeah.
Now this joystick is locked. So it makes you feel a little more comfortable getting under the hood or whatnot.
Right, right.
So we'll go through some of the service stuff first, and then we'll go over operation with you. So to get the hood up, just a simple pull a latch, pick up. You've got your air filter up front, of course. You got a screen in front of your radiator, so if you're doing any bush hogging and stuff like that, make sure you keep that clean.
Right.
The screen does come out, blow it out. You want to use air, not water. Using water will make it stuff get in there, plug it up, make it hard.
Right.
So your oil fill is here, oil filter here, then your dipstick right beside your oil filter. So everything you need to do is on this side, simple, and a drain plug in the bottom. Fuel filter is here. If you notice, it's got a ring inside of the bottom of this filter.
Yeah.
That's a water indicator. So if you see that ring starting to float, you know you got water in it, change the filter.
Right.
Hydraulic side of it, you've got HST filter. Then if you look in the back side, you've got another hydraulic filter, because you get one's for the hydrostatic and one's for the main pumps.
Okay.
To check that and fill that, there's your fill. There's your check. Dipsticks inside of that. One drain at the bottom. So for maintenance wise, very simple. You know, fuel tank is going to be here. Diesel, of course. Then what you got is your brake. This has got a 3-range machine, so it's a high, medium, and a low. Low and medium is going to be your working. Range is high is mainly going to be for traveling. PTO engagement here. This is your mechanical engagement. So what you're going to do, say you want a bush hog, you're going to put this lever back. That engages the drive. Still not going to be turning till you do the hydraulic clutch pack because it's live PTO. Now it's got a manual and independent PTO. If you look at this button, I push this button in and turn it to the right. When you push it, it cuts off. You can push this button in and turn it to the left. So what that does is when you put it in manual, whether that 3-point hitch is up or down, PTO is going to run. When you put it in auto, when you pick up on the 3-point lever, when it gets to a certain height, it's going to cut it off.
Okay.
Then when you go back down and it gets to a certain height again, it'll cut it on. That's mainly for like post hole digging.
Right.
So when you drop it, it cuts it on. When you pick it up to go move it, it cuts it off. So everything's not running in a bind.
Right.
Same thing with a bush hog. If you run it in that and you pick it up, when the bush hog comes up, it'll cut the blade off. So you're not running your universal joints in a bind and you know, putting everything in a big bindage for your universal. 4-wheel drive. So down is engaged. So if you're going along and start to spin, just stop and take your foot and just step on it. Put it right in gear. This is your 3-point speed controller. What this does is controls the descent speed of your 3-point arms.
Right.
So if you've got something light that you want to fall faster, or if you got something heavy you don't want slamming, this controls the rate of speed. Now if you lock this all the way too tight, it won't go down at all.
Okay.
And sometimes people's feet will hit it and knock it, and you'll have to play with it, loosen it up.
Gotcha.
But it only changes down speed.
Right.
No other control up's going to be the same regardless. It's just down speed. Of course, you got suspension seat here, lumbar on the seat, so you can get that to you. Same thing here, which you still got the bag on it. You got the weight control for the suspension. All right. So if we come over here, there's some other features. Cruise control. The way that works is, you see this plate here. So when you're holding this, say the key is on, you hit the button. See how it locked the magnet to it?
Yeah.
Then just like your car, if I go over here, hit this brake, you'll hear that thing cut off.
Yeah.
So it works just like your car. Get your pedal where you want it, push the button, tap the brake, it'll come off. Emergency flashes, you know, all your headlight indicators, horns, buttons are over here. Brake lock is over here, and if you come over this way, it's kind of a hands-free operation. I can kind of show you the way it's designed to work. So what it is take your foot, push it, then you just take your other foot, clip it. So you know, most people try to bend down, but it's a lot easier to just use a foot operation to lock it. Now for yours, we put the WR Long electric over hydraulic kit on here. So what you've got now on your stick, we took the controller off, you've got a push button.
Nice.
Open and close, and you can hear this valve clicking when you do it.
Right.
That's going to put flow. If you come up here to the front, I got that locked. So it does have a float mode. Oh, you good?
I stopped.
Okay. So here's your hydraulic lines right here.
Yep.
That you'll plug in when you do your bus.
Right.
So now, like I say, on this one, they've retroed. You've got the new loader with the boomerangs, because the old ones, they were bending some cylinders with the setup when they were using it improperly. So you got the new setup. As you can see, with like the 200 series, they've retrofitted it to the 150. This here is going to be your HST cooler for your hydraulic fluid. You'll want to do, of course, your first service at 50 hours. Engine oil, get all the breakout in, and then every 100 on the engine, and you know, every 300, 350, I say, on hydraulic, because you got to remember HST is using that fluid a lot more than a manual shift would be using it. Over here on this tractor, it comes standard with link pedal. And for the people that don't understand what that does is these pedals link to the engine RPMs. So just like with your car, the faster you push it, the farther you push it, the RPMs go up. Now, say you're bush hogging, you don't want them RPMs all over the place because it's killing your power. You got a fixed throttle. Right. So you would fix this and it overrides this. So you got the best of both worlds. Some of the other tractor companies, you know, this is optional or it don't even link. But I like it because it makes it a lot smoother, you know, moving dirt and gravel. Right. But when you do your bush hogging, you'll want to use the fixed throttle. Right. And you'll want to be in the green section of the RPM gauge to keep your RPMs up. RPMs are going to be key. Yeah. You know, especially with a bush hog, or if you're pulling a disc with these, because they are hydrostatics and only 25 horse. You know, you want to use this throttle because you want that power from the jump. Right. You know, you set a 5-foot disc behind this, sit it down in the dirt from an idle and try to go. It's not gonna want to go. You want to have them RPMs up. And my dad's got the same tractor, and we pull a 6-foot. We tested his out, 6-foot disc, and it pulls it fine. Nice. You know, but we use it in this route. Yeah. Fixed throttle. Everything here is going to have a grease fitting. So every pivot point on the loader is going to have them. Front axle's going to have them. And these are all set back in so you don't knock them off. So you don't break them off. That's right. Now, went over the indicator. It's got the notch in it. So when you're in the notch here with the notch, you're level. So it gives you an idea where you're at with your bucket. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Any other questions or something that I missed that you want to know? No, not. Of course, quick attach bucket. Yeah. You know, pull the 2 handles, swap over the forks. Yeah. Of course, for you, grapple buckets or whatever. Right. The one thing you want to know when you take your grapple bucket off, have it shut, because if you leave it open, the pressure will backfeed. Yep. And same thing when you are using it and go to take it off, cut this tractor off and work this joystick to let the backflow come back. Pressure, you don't know how many phone calls I get. I can't get my grapple hooked up. Well, because they still got pressure on it. Yeah. This is a quick take-off loader. Right. You know, put your stands down, pull your pins, work it off, and then everything is color-coded. Right. You know, so you know how to get it back on. And we want the bucket level when we set it all the way down, because otherwise it'll hold itself level. Once this kicks off enough, you'll just back up, unhook these, and that'll set. Most of the time when it's sitting, you won't have to worry about it. It'll plug back up. Right. And if it don't, just kick it into neutral like this. When you hook your lines back up, that'll let the flow back feed. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, some of the big attractions for me for this particular brand, this tractor, one was of course the lift capacity and lift height on these things is really, I think, top of the class. 2,200 pounds for the loader, right? Yeah, 2,200. Yep. And then the tractor itself is a lot heavier than most. Tractor's 3,000 without loader, so you put anher about 8 to 9 with loader, and then of course we fill the rear tires for a counterbalance. So. And what do you put in? Beet juice, or what do they use? No, we use a methanol and water. Methanol. Okay. That keeps it from rotting the rims. Right. And it's more affordable than the beet juice. Yeah. You know what I mean? To mix it. And the other thing I liked is that everything was just so heavy. You know, everything is such heavy steel, heavy gauge, which of course counts for a lot of the weight, but it makes you feel like you've got a lot more old school. The fact that you don't have tons of electronics on it either, that was a big seller. So no electronics on this. All still mechanical injection. Even when you get up to something like the 55 with the Branson, it is still mechanical Cummins-based injection. You do have a regeneration on that, but it is self-contained. So there is no ECU, no ODB2 plug, no check engine light, no limp modes. And anything under 30 horsepower, you don't have any of it. So this tractor doesn't have any of that. No electronic wiring harnesses to worry about, no, you know, regen and none of that at all. Yeah, and for 25 to be on the same, pretty much the same chassis or the same size at least as the bigger tractors was a big appeal to me too, because some of the other 25 horsepower subcompacts or compacts are
a lot smaller. You feel
Right.
like you're in a big lawnmower, and
Right.
I wanted to make sure I had something that was going to be a little bit
They
heavier.
offer this chassis all the way up from a 25 to a 48.
48.
The only thing that changes is, of course, engine horsepower and tire size.
Mm-hmm.
The 25 and 30 run this, and then when you 35, 42, 48, you know, you just get a little step bigger every step you go. But setup wise, they're all the same lifting.
Yeah.
You know, it works.
Yeah, I remember too when you took me out for a test. You just left the thing idling, and the bucket went right up, no problem. You didn't even hear the engine slow or anything. I mean, it just had no problem at all with the hydraulics. So.
Yeah, well, see, they actually run a dual hydraulic pump setup. So what you've got is two separate pumps for low pressure and high pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not running it off of one single pump.
Right. That makes a big difference for sure. And everything's so easy to get to. I loved all the access, and when you need to stop and check it out before you get going for the day, you could see everything in one place from your, the float and the filters and everything are right there.
It's set up so that you can do all the maintenance and everything at home.
Right.
You know, you don't need special tools. It's not a pain in the tail. You know, you can get to everything and try to make it user friendly as possible.
Yeah.
You know, that's the last thing you want to do is get something and you can change your own oil and tinker with your own stuff, but it's so complicated you can't.
Yeah. I've got my viewers have been watching me try to get a UTV running again. It's fully loaded with all the latest technology, but one little $19 part that took me I think 6 weeks. I finally just came in the other day to get that thing running again. But it was all that ECU and any little electronic part that was just a little bit off.
Well, that's
just,
like
it
with
just
the
wouldn't run.
Coyotes.
Yeah.
You know, they are electronic injection.
Right.
So we get them in here, they're in limp mode, they're locked out.
Yeah.
You're getting this sensor code and it could be way over here, you know.
Right.
Just because that code's tripping, something else could be causing that fault.
Yeah.
You know, with this, you don't have any of that. You got fuel and fire, juice in the
Right.
battery, and it turns over, it's going to go.
Yeah, that's nice. It's old school. Well,
Yeah.
and I know you know a lot about Coyotes. You sold those for years before these, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
I mean, they're a great tractor. I mean, a lot of people like them a lot. I looked at those as well, but this just seemed more like what I wanted.
It was 20 degrees this morning, and this tractor, fired up.
Yeah, it was 15, 14 last night, so I know it sat in the cold.
So this morning, glow plugged one time, hit the key, it's running.
Nice.
So easy starting. Like I say, it's got a lot of the Cummins technology in it.
Right. And that's the Cummins engine, or the same company?
Yeah, well, Coojay is a parent company and builds Cummins, so it's a lot of Cummins. It's not branded Cummins, of course, because it can't, but
right.
It is.
And this brand was recently bought by TYM. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's now connected with a much bigger. Like they're not going to go out of business tomorrow. I think that's the other thing people worry about when they buy some of these.
But the benefit to the Branson is a builder. They're a manufacturer.
Right.
They're not a rebrander.
Right.
So some of these tractor companies you see
Right.
are branding, Bransons with their badges, or
Right.
TYMs or LSs. Branson actually builds this. So
well, that was part of what I
Parts
understood.
availability
TYM has started already taking some of the engineering that Branson uses and incorporating with some of their tractors as well.
Right.
So.
Right. Now Branson does use two TYM tractors, the little 22
Smaller ones, yeah.
and 25. The
Well,
little baby
they all
ones.
do though. I mean, John Deere, even John Deere doesn't make those small tractors. I mean,
Right.
Anything that fits in a crate.
But everything from the 2400 up, Branson, they build it, make it themselves. So
Nice.
you're not buying from a third party.
Right.
That's where some of these guys get these tractors and I can't get parts. And well, you didn't buy from a manufacturer, you bought from a rebrander.
Yep. So, well, I think that's it's pretty awesome. So, what would you say is kind of like the number one reason people come in and want to look at Branson when you said? I mean, you said you sold like 130 something last year.
135 of them in 13 months.
Wow. That's
as
amazing.
a new dealer.
Right.
The Branson, people's done their research. People, just like you just commented on, are tired of the electronics.
Yeah.
They're tired of all the bells and whistle stuff that goes wrong that you can't get it to run.
Right.
The Branson keeps it simple and it's still got all the features you want. The independent manual PTO, the link pedals, all standard.
Yeah.
It's a heavier tractor.
And it had an adjustable 3-point, right? Too.
The 20 series have the adjustable ones. They don't offer the extendable links yet.
Oh, okay. I thought this one had it on it.
No, we're working on it. The 20 series does.
But they do have this part just down here though, which is nice.
You do have not the turnbuckles
right.
like most of them.
Yep.
Right. Now, wet lines are optional. So anybody watching this that will say, hey, I don't see rear remotes.
Right.
Well, if you come over here and look at the 30 I got here that we're doing the service on, and the guy ripped some lines off. So you can get optional rear remotes if you have to have it.
Right. Yeah.
Branson does not plug their backhoes into the third remote, so if a backhoe is an option somebody wants, and they run it live.
Right.
So you don't need even the remotes to put a backhoe in here.
Oh wow. Okay.
If you look at this 20 series, just to give you an idea, see they've got the rear remotes, but the backhoe is plumbed in differently, so you don't even need rear remotes.
So that's really more for other implements that require a lot more control.
Do a hydraulic top link, side links, we set them up like that.
Yeah, so I'm not really planning to use it for farming, so I didn't think that was as big of a deal. But
it's something you can add. I mean, you're talking $600, and I can put it on in an hour. So
that's
if
fantastic.
it comes to that point, we can put it on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One other point I did want to make, because it impressed me very much when you told me about it when we were first talking, was this third function is a little bit different from some of them. Some of them are just a bypass up on the front, where you either can use the bucket, or when you hit the electronic switch, then your hydraulic fluid goes to grapple or whatever your third function is. This one works independently, so that I can be tilting and opening the grapple all at the same time, which to me was really impressive. And this is not the Branson factory one, right? Because I've seen theirs.
Branson's is on this one, and if you look, I didn't like it, so we didn't get any more. The valve sits up front.
It's huge too.
And then, like you said, it is a push button diverter.
Right.
It's not the electric over hydraulic toggle switch like WR Long. And it looks much better back here and a cleaner fit. And you just got this simple hook up there instead of a big bulky valve.
Yeah, in fact, that was the other thing. I've seen a lot of them have issues with the hoses kind of coming out and getting in the way. And this looks like it's tucked down nicely. So yeah, I'm super psyched, and I think that was definitely the way to go, to have you all put that on right away instead of messing with that, because I've seen people on YouTube installing their own, and then they're futzing with them, and then they end up having to buy new connectors and all kinds of things. And these are Phoenix, is that what you said? Phoenix connectors? What kind of connectors are those on there? Pioneers. So same as in the front that would go in the rear. Right. Bobcat, I get a lot of people call, I got a grapple off a Bobcat. Well, the flat face fittings aren't going to work. You have to swap them. The flat face fittings are more of a high flow for skid steers and stuff. It's just a regular Pioneer hydraulic fitting like that would go in the back. Yeah. Nice. Well, I think that kind of covers everything, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit and walk through this with me. I mean, I know you do that for all your customers anyway, but doing it on video at the same time is always a little different, so I appreciate that very much, and I think that'll allow me, I know when it's, especially when you're excited about something, sometimes you don't hear it all, and be able to watch it later will help me, but also I know my viewers will be really excited and interested too. And that roll bar is a 2-position fold-back roll bar, so that will lean to the front, lean to the back, or all the way down. Right. So if you got a garage or shop you need to get into, you can. Yeah, I was wondering, I think it looks like I'm going to be okay. I've got just 8 feet clearance, and that looks, hopefully. Yeah, I know we was talking about that. Yeah. We'll see. I'll find out soon. It'll definitely go in there and fold it back. Yeah. Well, thank you again. Thanks to David Hicks out here at Lake Anna Tractor and Hardware in Central Virginia, right near Lake Anna, which is a beautiful lake up in this part of the country. And so I appreciate your time today, and I'm excited to be able to. I know you guys do free delivery too, which is awesome. It saved me having to. I didn't even have all the right chains and stuff for my trailer, so I was really glad that you were able to bring it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it roll into the driveway soon. But thank you again for your time, and everybody who's watching. Hey, if you're anywhere around Virginia, definitely check out these guys, especially if you're looking for Branson. So they'll take good care of you and have a great reputation, and some really fantastic product. Hard part is seeing one, because you're just telling me on the way in here. You had 255s, right? 255s. Before they got out, you could even get them out to put them on display. 2 people came in and bought them right away. So hot commodity for sure, and there's a reason for that. So yeah, it's definitely a waiting list. I mean, I probably got 30 on order, but it's Yeah. Well, that's worth the wait. I mean, I knew I was willing
Just
to
like
wait
with
for
you,
sure.
you
So
know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
had to wait.
Yeah. But
Came
fortunately, it wasn't
quick,
too late.
though.
Yeah. I
yeah.
was surprised, especially since some of the bigger ones take
I
a lot
could have
longer.
sold it a few times.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't. I really appreciate that very much. So, anyway, folks, thanks again for joining us today, and I'll catch you up on more. I'll certainly be showing you a lot more. I'll be showing you the 50-hour service. I'll be trying some different things out. I'll be getting some different implements for specifically the different grapple and some forks, because I've got some work that I need to do with that. But I'll put the bucket to good use right away with doing some work I got to do right now. So thanks for joining us in TWC Projects. Get outside, create things, fix things, and enjoy God's creation all around you. Until next time, take care. Thank you.